Again, your voice is very small. I can see the difference in my recording and your recording.
Okay, your mouth too big. That's your problem. You want to allow this voice out to everybody else.
Calm down, calm
Sure.
down. I'm just saying. My question is, what are we as younger generation supposed to do with our aging parents, and is taking care of our elderly parents putting a burden on us and our future?
It depends on how quickly they die.
Damn, boy.
No. I know it sounds savage, but that's an honest factor.
You know, it is because, let's put it in hindsight. If you think about it in this, let's say everybody in university, like at the ripe age of 21, 22, let's say that happens. You may have an older person who is, say, 50, 56, somewhere about then. So, because of, the lovely thing that is modern medicine, they can live for a very long time. Because I know people who are close up in their 40s and 50s taking care of the older persons that they have. So, more than likely, that might be the tangent for us. Well, not tangent, the actual direction for us. That's what I think.
Yeah, I really do understand that, but with aging parents,
how long they live.
Right now, what I'm seeing a lot of generation, like our generation, we're taking care of our parents and our elderly grandparents, and it is stressing. They are not cheap. No, it's no joke. It's not a joking matter. It is not a joking matter. They are expensive. They have bills, they have food, they have medical expenses, and then we are responsible for taking care of all of it. The issue is because a lot of these elderly persons, they don't think about their future and they don't put anything in place. They don't have...
No. They do think about their future. The problem is that instead of a regular retirement plan, the retirement plan is us, children.
That's messed up.
It's a Jamaican mentality overall.
I know it's a Jamaican mentality, but that mentality needs to change. Because honestly, if we are supposed to take care of our parents...
Sorry?
Can you hear someone else?
Oh, sorry, I was away. I'm saying it's a mentality that's been going on for years. I mean, how many of our parents are actually planning for their future? Or how many persons that are middle age are planning for when they're 60s or in their 70s?
I know a few of them.
I know that they plan for is that they plan for their children's future, but they forget their own.
That is a problem. I can attest to that. That is a problem.
Exactly.
Because a lot of people don't even have a retirement plan with a bank or a credit union or anything like that.
And let's face it, the government pension is not a lot. If you get a little pension, you get.
You need to talk up because your voice is very small and...
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You don't need to go again, just talk.
I'm done. Mikhail was saying something.
Again, your voice is very small. I can see the difference in my recording and your recording.
Okay, your mouth too big. That's your problem. You want to allow this voice out to everybody else.
Calm down.
Sure.
I'm just saying.
Continue, Mikhail.
Well, the only thing I'm saying is that there be a monetary problem because inflation is not exactly a kind thing, especially now where we are. So yeah, I mean, I've made this joke so many times that once upon a time, when back in the day when $20 notes used to exist, that was a lot of money.
Yeah, you could have buy lunch with that.
Nigga, you could buy lunch and have change for the week.
Y'all make it sound that was like 2 decades ago.
Yeah, but look how fast. Same $20.
We were alive 2 decades ago.
That's what I'm saying. That was 2 decades ago. I mean, gosh.
Yeah, but we experienced it.
What happened to 2 decades from now? That's horrible.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
Remember, so we are just a little bit over 2 decades old.
Exactly.
We're not a little bit over 2 decades. Speak the truth and speak it true.
Wait, why does she want to be older than what she actually is?
I don't know.
No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying, let's face it, we are not a little over 2 decades, people. No one on this call is a little over 2 decades.
It sounds like you actually word for me. Sound like you throw it upon me.
We are approaching the third decade quite quickly.
Again, it sound like you throw it upon me.
We are getting off topic, people.
Yeah. A lot of persons in them 50s and overs are not financially educated, and because they're not financially educated, they don't have some sort of plan to help take care of themselves, and they don't understand how difficult it actually gonna be for maintain themselves. Because most of them have pension, but they don't realize that the pension is not enough to even buy food and reach a certain age, and then they expect us to pitch in. And then the mentality is, well, I take care of you when you're younger for so much years. You can much help me a little bit. And it's annoying because if we have to help them, we can't really set ourselves for our future. And they don't see it like that.
It's worse when you have the cruft parents saying that.
Oh God, don't start with the cruft parents then.
But here's the joke though. I think that for those of us who had to deal with like university days, like after the whole recession thing, and going into this 21st century, which God forbid the 2020 is just getting worse, but I think it's kind of made us more aware that we need to learn more about finance and how money works. Because I've said it already, I think financial literacy is a big problem right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the worst part about it, I didn't learn how important a credit score was until I took my first loan. I did not know that. I'm saying this.
Wait, Jamaica has credit score?
The prime example of financial literacy.
So financial literacy is actually in our school system, but here's the joke. It's not anywhere as an individual thing. You may pick it up, maybe in principles of business, maybe in economics, probably even in something like advanced, maybe. But the actual full thing in its entirety, you don't get it like that because you don't know what a credit score is. People don't even know what a mortgage is. They don't know how compound interest works. They don't know.
Higher purchase.
They don't understand what a liability is, what an asset, what a commodity.
What a fixed asset is. So we don't learn these things by themselves and we just come out of university or high school and expect to just know it because we're that intelligent.
Oh no, they touched on it in maths. Touch, emphasis on touch. It's not as important as circling theorem and differentiation and those
I think
things.
I have like 5 classes on compound interest and then I'm like, okay, this is interesting. It's just a super way of adding money. It's not until I got old, I'm like, wow, this would have been really useful like a couple years ago if I understood it on a banking level.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you learn a lot
I
about
could have been rich.
accounting, if you do accounting in high school.
Yeah, you do. But again, the knowledge that you get is really minuscule and you only learn it later on in life. Because I even spoke to a young man who graduated a couple months ago. He has no idea what a credit score is. At the place called explain. No, I'm not joking. He has no idea what that thing is. So I explained to him that, alright, going forward, what's the best thing that you can do? If you can, get a credit card and just use that credit card to pay your utilities, for example, once you start, handling your own thing. You doing that will improve your credit score over time because it shows that you borrow and pay on time. And you're borrowing a fixed amount because one way or the other, you will always find money to pay your JPS bill or your internet bill.
Not everybody, but go on.
Not everybody, but even the water bill, come on, you must can pay the water bill, at least. So, it's just a weirdo. And there are people who go through who have no idea about this kind of stuff. And they wonder why they are, in the position they are.
And I'm not even sure if we can even blame someone. I'm not sure if we can blame the educational system
I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying it's a missed opportunity because we always talk about how we don't have enough. Our human resource is not what it should be in our country.
Yeah.
And maybe one of the best ways to have a better human resource is have a better aware human resource. That's just what I'm saying.
Like what they should do is that they should, in high school, they should reorganize the education system. There should be a class named financial literacy that sit down and teach people all of these things.
There was a class that was on the curriculum and they took it off. What was that old time class of parents and grandparents used to call it again? God no, me even said the book feet.
What,
Like,
econ?
no. an old time class that they removed from the curriculum. It kind of touched on all the basic things. Come on, people.
We're not that old.
I don't remember.
I remember even seeing a textbook for it. It's like it taught. Oh gosh, what the name of it? Lord God, can't remember it.
So maybe you can Google it later, but
there used to be a course. I don't know if it's ethics or what it used to call. There used to be a course where you had to learn.
Ethics in money management or economic.
Yeah, so it's like teaching you how to get ready for the real world.
common sense. Of course it can. There should be a class they call common sense too.
You cannot teach common sense. It's something you have
to. No. Common sense can be taught. I believe that common sense can be taught because I've seen it.
Not
You know when Theo said that, you remind me of a scene from like I think one of the Mask of Zorro.
Yeah.
When my man's like, do you know how to use that thing? And he pulls out the sword and he's like, of course I do. You take the pointy thing and put the other guy. Like, clearly he doesn't understand. Because that's his common sense of saying, hey, this is how a sword should be used. You take it, you just poke it in the other guy, he dies. Like,
but you know, I have this theory about common sense is that it comes through experience.
it does.
That's the thing I was saying, yeah.
And that's why
Somebody I use the sword in that way if you know that, oh, this is how I'm supposed to use it.
But in this case, it's not sword, it's the ability to understand, should I or should I not go into debt? Because that's what happens a lot of the time.
yeah.
So, about the credit score, for those of us who took like student loans, we already have bad credit scores if we're not paying the loan back.
Yeah, sad to say.
What if you were behind and you cleared up all the late fees and everything?
I guess that your credit score
the funny
improved.
thing about a credit score is to the level that I understand it. Your credit history is based on the past 7 years of your financial activities.
Shit.
Yeah, so even if you clear your debts and everything, your score won't be properly modified unless you do one of two things. Either you wait it out, meaning you wait for another, depending on how deep you are, another 5-6 year period to pass so that when you look back, it's not that bad. Or you do some, like I recommend to the young some positive reinforcement into improving your score over time. Because let's be honest, if you have a bad credit score, you're not going to get a loan anytime soon. If you're looking to get a credit card before all of this and you didn't put yourself in any credit card debt, then you can use that credit card to improve your credit score over a couple of years.
Credit
So
cards.
that's basically where you are.
So we're getting a credit card.
Sorry, I'm not chancing it. I don't like the ideas of credit cards.
No. What we can do is that we can pay the bills with it and then pay off the credit card
Do you
immediately.
know the fees that attach onto credit cards?
Yes.
I'm wicked with them. They were hidden fees.
No. That's late fees, not hidden fees. That's different.
There's always fees attached. Even when you don't use your credit card, ask persons who have.
No, then
Even when you don't use it, there's
No,
fees
you have
attached to
fees.
something.
You have fees. That's how they make their money. But we can avoid the late fees by paying off immediately.
It's not late fees alone that I'm talking about. There are always different fees, especially when you don't use the card.
I'm trying to fix my credit scores. Are you going to allow me to fix my credit scores or not?
You can fix it, just don't get my name mixed up in it.
Okay.
Wait, just for hindsight, for those listening, Elle and Leo are married.
Unfortunately.
If you hear them bantering like this, it's just that. That's the reason. But anyway, why are you afraid of a credit card though?
No, the fact having to hold people money, and then I've heard people who are attached to a bank who have their credit card and then get these high fees even when they don't use them card. And I work hard for my
high
money.
Fees or high limit? Because there's some people.
No,
mix
there are
that up and think-
fees. I said get taken out of them accounts, even when they don't have the money in there. As soon as they put money in there, it gone. No,
that means they're in debt.
No, they don't really in debt. It's just like when you don't use it for a while, there's something attached to it, some fees attached.
You don't understand credit card fees then, do you?
Not answer anything. You can get one out. I'm talking about from the people I've heard.
They're clearly not explaining it properly then.
Listen, well,
Because
all I know is
I know several persons with credit cards.
Okay,
Right,
let me try and simplify it to make it a lot easier. When you think about credit cards, you need to understand the simple concept, which I'm sure you get. That if I give you, say, $50,000 in your hand, and I give you a credit card limit that has, say, 100,000 limit on it, how much money do you have?
I'm sorry, I zoned out a while ago.
Again, if I give you $50,000 cash in your hand, and then I give you a credit card with $100,000 limit, how much money do you have?
I feel like that's a trick question.
He have $50,000.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You have $50,000.
Okay.
That 100,000 limit is not money. It's not real money.
Mm-hmm.
It's credit created by the bank.
Which you'd have to repay depending on how much you use, which is why it's recommended. If you're using a credit card, it is better for you when your limit is high. Why? Once your limit is high, you can follow what people call the 25 or 20% rule so that to improve your score. Because here's the funny thing. Credit bureaus, they don't know you from a personal standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
So all they have is just watching you, what you've done with the car, whether you paid for gas, groceries, all that other stuff. So if you have $100,000, I'm pretty sure that in an ideal economy, maybe you have all utilities at a $20,000 region, which would be like the 20% for that 100,000. Once you just pay that every month regularly, the credit card bureau looks at your report and sees two things. They realize that not only do you borrow the money and pay on time, you borrow a little bit of money and always pay back on time. So put it in hindsight. Let's say you gave a person your phone. Which one do you trust the phone more with? A person who always gives you the phone at 10% battery dead almost, or the person who just uses a little bit of energy, probably just 5% and use up and give you back at 95%. Which one do you think is more reliable as a person?
The one that gives you 95%.
Exactly. And that's the same thing how credit cards should be used and how credit bureaus look at that.
So then my question is, how many persons are responsible enough to take it and all use our 5%?
But that shouldn't affect us. Like, we know that they're not responsible enough, and that's how credit card company makes their money. But a person who is responsible, like me and you and Mikhail, not too sure about Danny, they will be able to manage their debt and pay back the credit card.
A big offense to that.
That's a big offense because I thought Danny a lot about money, so I take offense to that too.
My
You
apologies.
hear me laughing that hard.
I worked at a bank for Christ's sake.
Yeah, you were.
No, that's equivalent of saying that I don't trust this person with a gun. I was in the army for 30 years. How dare you? Oh, God. That is just messed up for so many reasons.
So, Mikhail, do you have a credit card?
Unfortunately, no. I wouldn't mind having. You know the funny thing? Bank offered to give me a credit card 3 times in the past 2 years, and I said no to all 3 times because at the time, I think I know. My credit score was just bad, which what made it really funny. Because this is the same bank that told me that they can't give me another loan because I have an outstanding loan. Not outstanding, I think I have a loan with them that I'm paying. So for them to offer to me 3 times, the second time, like, didn't you people say I have a loan already? I can't get a credit. What's going on?
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
And many people fall for those traps. I don't want to fall for that trap.
No, you don't have to fall for the trap. Because, all right, here's the trap, which is very obvious, which we all would understand by now. Banks make money not by the fact that they loan it to you. They make money when you're in debt.
Yeah, the debt trap.
The debt trap. That is where they make their money. They don't care if you can't pay. No. They just want to make sure that when you start paying, you pay way more than you have to. Same thing with credit card companies.
So
it's just like, and I think think it was on a clip I saw like a couple months ago. Leo should remember this because it's probably from the same channel that we watch, where they basically tell you, shout out to 2 cents if we make it this way.
No, no.
I don't think.
I'm sorry. You know, gotta show
no.
that you respect.
He's talking about the channel 2 cents. One of I don't know what your channel name is.
Oh yeah, 2 cents.
We got
Yeah,
yourself. Me and
They
Dave
did that thing about if you're really paying for a free flight, it's not really free. Because the amount of stuff you have to do to get that free flight doesn't make any sense. That's probably the most expensive flight you've ever taken.
It's like when a bank offers you this card that you can use when you're spending money and you earn points on it. And then they say, oh, you can get a free flight with all
It's not free. You pay for it.
That's not free.
Exactly.
100 times over.
It's one point for every 1,000 US you spend.
How many people spend so much
And
money?
you need 1,000 points to get a free flight.
That is absolutely ridiculous. That flight was not free. You just paid for it slowly. My goodness. But yeah, but like I said, if you have a credit card, you shouldn't be afraid. Because like I said, if you have a limit, just spend below the limit at 20% or 25%. Once you do that, you'll be okay. It doesn't have to be all your bills. It can be just that one bill that fits perfectly into that little percentile. That's it.
Alright, back to parents who don't plan for their future.
Oh yeah, that what I talk
y'all
about.
got so far to credit score. I agree with you with not knowing that you live so long, but I'm still on the fact that they think you just live day by day. I mean, you don't plan ahead. You're just like.
Why do you think that is the one?
I think the reason is after a while, life just happens to them. Like it becomes so unfortunate for them that them just give up. And decide, say, well, maybe dead anyway. Because from the moment you're born, you start dying. It's like, them basically, I think, say, well, we all have to dead at one point. So it's for tomorrow and tomorrow.
Yeah, but you're not going to know. Well, you might. Let me tell you
But I'm not doing that. Suppose what was going to happen right now.
Wait,
Danny, what are you talking about?